Michigan showed some resiliency this week. After a crushing blow on the road in East Lansing against the Spartans, Michigan held serve against a scrappy Penn State club on Sunday. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. You know, every team faces adversity. It's how those teams respond that shows their true character. The Wolverines, for the first time in the last 2 regular seasons, lost back-to-back games, but got back to their winning ways when they hosted the Nittany Lions on Sunday at Chrysler Center. Penn State started strong, hitting a pair of threes and shooting 50% from the floor early on behind Jermaine Marshall and Brandon Taylor.
Bounce pass finds Taylor. He'll jump into a triple try and hit it.
Good job by Penn State running that pick and roll action, 2-man game.
Nittany Lions led by as many as 8 before the Wolverines followed with a 3 from Trey Burke and a pull-up jumper from Tim Hardaway.
Hardaway into the front court, sidesteps his way, pull-up J from 15, good.
And you know that's his money area.
Penn State fought back behind Sasha Baravniak, who had 7 first-half points, only to see back-to-back slams by Glenn Robinson.
Gary pulls it back out. No looks. Robinson, jams it down. What a feed from McGarry.
The Wolverines climbed all the way back, ending the half on a 7-2 run thanks to an end-to-end rush by Burke, who hit yet another spectacular pro-style hoop.
He leads the break. Dead legs his way. Hangs, fires, fills it up. What a shot by Trey Burke.
They were tied at 32 at the break. Then the two teams countered one another with 6-0 runs early in the second before U of M used a Nick Stauskas 3 and a Trey Burke breakaway lay-in to go up by 5.
Colella, bothered by Morgan, forced the turnover. Stauskas up ahead for Burke. He will sky in and lay it in.
Michigan would bump it to 9 behind Glenn Robinson, taking advantage of some perfect passing.
Burke between the circles, left wing for Stauskas. Alley-oop, Robinson jams it through!
My teammates just found me, different guys are going to have, different nights and big nights for themselves. And I just went out there, and they found me like they do always. So I don't think that I was off or anything like that. And that's just something that happened today, and we've been working on it.
Burke gallops, alley-oop, Robinson, another jam! Man, oh, he's got 4 stuffs in the game, and Michigan is up by 8.
But Penn State answered and hung tough behind Nick Colella's couple of threes.
Skip pass, Corella for 3. Yes! Second straight triple for Nick Corella in this second half.
In the end, though, Michigan's talent took over. Trey Burke set a new season high with 29. Glenn Robinson matched a career high and boasted his second career double-double. And Nick Stauskas poured in 18, the most he scored since December 29th against CMU. Wolverines win it 79-71.
Gritty, not pretty. So I said that I just felt like, that was the type of game it was. And Penn State played a heck of a game. They're a good team. And, just playing in this conference, it's tough to win it, night in and night out. But, it was a gritty, not pretty type of night. Guys started going in the second half. I felt like our defense could have been a little better. But we'll just continue to learn and get better from it.
32-32 at the break between Michigan and Penn State on that Sunday. Talk about how your team was different in the second half compared to where they looked in the first half.
Well, defensively, what they were doing on offense, we just didn't adjust to very quickly. We really had trouble in the ball screen. We really had trouble in the rotations out of it. And gradually, as the game went on, we got a little bit better. The last 4 or 5 minutes, we were better. And in the second half, we were really good at it. But then offensively, we didn't have shots drop. We haven't seen a zone in a long time. They played a lot of zone, and we forced a couple things, and then Tim was in foul trouble. So being able to play Tim 16 minutes in the second half as opposed to 10 minutes was a big difference.
Jordan Morgan was in some early foul trouble, too, and he's still not himself. It'll be an important week for your team as you get ready for Illinois' invasion to Ann Arbor on Sunday as well, to get him healthy, right?
Yeah, it's really important that he gets healthy, because guarding the ball screen is one of his strengths, and that's all we see these days. He's terrific at it. He's really good at it. So getting him healthy, he's really not doing it as well as he was before. Just got to get him back, and he's been in therapy now for 3 weeks. It still hasn't gone away. We got to stick with him.
Trey Burke had a season-high 29 points. He had double digits early in the first half. He's the guy who held you together in the first half. He's held you together all season long, but overall his play was outstanding.
Yeah, we really had some guys step up today, but he was just a rock all day long. He's amazing. When he takes a bad shot, he's the first one to tell me. I don't have to ever tell him. He tells me right away, boy, Coach, I should have done this or I should have done that. And he recognizes it right away. But boy, he took some great shots. They made huge threes for us when we needed him to break away from them.
Glenn Robinson looked like he was back to his old self. He matched a career high with 21 points, had his second career double-double. And it sure feels good when, as a player, when you see that ball going through the hoop, and it helps to have 5 dunks and beautiful feeds.
Yeah, he really, I mean, to talk about the assists on those, they were terrific assists. But he also finished at the foul line for us, Glenn did. And then obviously the dunks were great. And just him scoring off backdoor cuts, burn cuts, he just needs to continue to work hard. The more you work, the more you're going to be involved. And he has been. But with, like most freshmen, there's another gear that they have. There's another gear Nick Stauskas has. There's another, I don't know if there's another gear Mitch has. We maybe need to have him go from 5th to 4th gear sometime. But it is it's a team that's learning every day about the fine points of winning.
You mentioned the free throw line, a season high 35 free throws attempts. You told me in the pregame before the game against the Nittany Lions, we've got to get to the line. You did just that.
Yeah, we had to, you know, they're a physical team. They do foul a lot. We have to get there. We hardly got there against a very physical Michigan State team. And we didn't get there at all against Wisconsin. And we call it paintball, Matt. Get the ball into the paint. Whether you're throwing it in, whether you're cutting it in, or whether you're driving it in, get the ball inside.
All right, you had mentioned Stauskas, 18 points for Nick Stauskas. That's the most he has scored since he had 18 against Central Michigan on December 29th. It was good to see him find a rhythm.
Absolutely. You know, he made some incredible finishes at the rim. He's a good thing for us to have a guy who can use the ball screen and also score. And then his foul shot, you know, he hasn't been making his foul shots. He was automatic from the foul line today as well. So, but his 2 threes in the second half after going. See, here's the thing with Nick. As I said in the press conference, when Nick misses a shot, he goes into cardiac arrest because he's not used to missing. So he missed 3 in a row. It's heart surgery. So we end up just, hey, take it when you're open. You're going to make it. People know you can shoot. They're going to guard you. It's going to be tough to get them. Just shoot it when you're open.
All right, later on, we'll touch on a fantastic ceremony that took place at Chrysler Center. But when we come back, the things that went wrong on the road at Michigan State.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan Health System. Visit us at uofmhealth.org. And by Absol Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com. Stauskas with a rebound. Ball fake, leans in, short on the layup. Rebounded by Payne. Up ahead for Dawson. Opposite side for Appling. Jumps into a 3 in transition. Good.
They came out and threw the first punch. That's something we're still trying to find for this team. Continue to try to get better at, but you know, sometimes it don't go your way. Going in the second half, once they got to 20, 25 points, you know, we started playing for pride.
They had much more energy, much more fight in them, and you know, they pretty much outworked us all night. And when you work hard like that, things are gonna go your way.
So it was an uncharacteristic loss for your club in East Lansing. They had you from the very get-go. I mean, 7 minutes in, it was a 5-point game, but you still didn't really feel all that comfortable, did you?
No, they really got out and got after us, both offensively and defensively, and to respond in that environment, we found it difficult to do that. They really had a great game. They outplayed us in every area of the game, and we'll learn a whole bunch from it.
How do you get your guys to be a little bit more of an inside team, or do you care if your team is an inside?
No, we want, there's a lot of ways that you can play inside out, and it's not just throwing the ball to the big guy and say, go get him, big fella. Actually, Michigan State's probably the only team in this league that throws the ball inside and just says, go get one, big fella. Everybody else is playing off residual action, pick and roll, driving the ball, dump offs, all those things. So that's probably part of our strategy. My hope is one day, whether it's Jordan Morgan, it's John Horford, it's Mitch McGarry, Max, right? We throw the ball into the paint, we say, go get him, big fella, because that's what we want to do. But until we really do a great job with that, finishing in crowds, doing all the things, you know, it's hard. Most teams don't do it. The NBA doesn't do it. The NBA doesn't do it, so it's hard to do.
Shooting 38% is one thing, but a season high in 16 turnovers, again, not characteristic of your ball.
No, we threw the ball right back to them. We have a lot to learn, and it was a high-pressure situation for our guys, especially after probably the shock of the Wisconsin loss. That, coupled with a really well-coached Michigan State team with playing with a really plan and a real purpose, they took it to us, and there's no easier way to say it than they just really outplayed us.
So when you go from the low on a Tuesday night of losing to the Spartans in East Lansing, and then you come back to this facility and you see so many people here ready for the rededication of Chrysler Center, How did it make you feel? It
Well,
was a special night.
we, after that game, we had a good, between film, weights, getting stronger in practice, we had a good 4-hour workout after that Michigan State game. And so we got better during that time. But then again, when you see the people that come back, the tradition of Michigan basketball, which we hope is going to be fixed once and for all. And to see those guys, to see Cassie and Campy and Phil Hubbard and all those guys that, you know, the jerseys are hanging, and Steve Grody and all these people, it's really important for us to understand, you know, what this tradition is and how this fan base loves Michigan basketball.
And see a lot of your guys like Zach Novak. That has to be a special feeling for you to see those guys come back and embrace not just what you've been building, but what you've already built here.
No, absolutely. There was no question about it. Having Zach here was really neat to have. In fact, as soon as after the game in Michigan State, I said, "What do you see?" You know, just because he knows how we play. And so he had some very candid observations, as he always would have, and we just got to grow from all this stuff. This is a team that's gaining experience every day, and we need a lot of it.
It was a special weekend at the Chrysler Center, not just because of the winning, but because of the rededication of the Chrysler Center itself and the people who were honored. That story is next. The Chrysler Center dedication marked the end of a 2-year, $72 million renovation for the facility that originally opened back in 1967. Activities began Friday with the Return to Chrysler event, which included a tour for some former Michigan greats, including Cassie Russell, who got his first look at the iconic photograph from the original construction. 1989 tournament hero Glenn Rice saw his words immortalized on the Blevin Tunnel, which the players run out to before every single game. And Desmond Howard chaired a discussion before invited guests, which included Russell, Rice, and women's basketball great Diane Dietz.
You know, Diane, I don't get a chance to ask female athletes questions like this all the time, so I have to take advantage of this moment. How did it feel being the big woman on campus?
If only I knew then that's what I was. No, honest to God, and you make me realize too. This is Title IX, and everybody was worried about, are they going to be treated fairly? And people were always trying to stir it up a little bit. And, you know, the guys are getting this and you're getting that. And I just never had the thought. If someone asks a question, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yes.
I mean, I'm at the University of Michigan. I'm playing the same teams that the men are playing in the same arena. I was so focused on getting to class, too. And I think part of that was because of the athletics. Maybe more so than if I hadn't been playing athletics. It just became such a priority to be seen as a person who cared as much about academics as I did about the athletics.
Glenn, you were, you know, on campus when I was on campus, and I have to thank you and the '89 team for making my stay here even more special. And I guess the first question I'd like to ask you, we talked in the back earlier about Coach Schembechler. And, you know, this is a guy who's very, very important in my life. And you had made a comment about the speech that he gave to you guys before the tournament started. Could you share that?
We're in a situation right before the tournaments. We lost our head coach, Bill Frieda, accepted a job somewhere else. And we had gotten beat up pretty good at the end of the season against Illinois.
Yeah.
And we're at a low point. But the strangest thing, we had Bo Schembechler. He came in there and he talked to us. He looked at each and every one of us and said, guys, you're Michigan men. You're on a Michigan team. We're going to go out there and we're going to do this the Michigan way, and you're going to win. I'm thinking to myself at that time, like, well, we lost our coach. We got beat up pretty good.
Right.
We may win the first game. Man, that's a strong may.
Right.
But his speech was so strong, and what the things he was saying to each one of us, it was almost like in the beginning we were Superman and kryptonite was thrown beside us.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, kryptonite didn't bother us. We felt that we could go out there and beat anybody that was in front of us.
Just felt invincible.
Oh, I mean, come on. When Bo Schembechler speaks,
yes, sir.
Boy, let me tell you, if you didn't have a hair standing before he talked, you did afterwards.
I know that's right.
It was strong, and we believed, and we went out and done it.
How did it feel today when you took that escalator up and you saw that big picture of you saying the house that Cassie built?
It was just a great flash of memories that came up as I walked up the escalator and I saw this picture, and the athletic director, Dave Brandon, showed me this wall. Very humbling experience. Very grateful to God that I got a chance to play at this great institution, but to be remembered, it's a great feeling, very humbling feeling. So thank you, University of Michigan.
Congratulations. Well deserved, well deserved.
I'm Sarah Van Meter at Chrysler Center, where the Wolverines did something on Saturday they haven't done in a long time. That story's next.
And welcome back. It was a light but an important week for the Michigan women. Only one game on their basketball docket at home against Michigan State Saturday afternoon, and nearly 6,000 turned out to see if the Wolverine women could do something they haven't done in almost 5 years. One of them on hand, our own Sarah Van Meter.
The Wolverines jumped out to a 9-point lead early, with Kate Thompson scoring 9 of the team's first 17 points. This bomb, as the shot clock ran out, nearly tore the roof off Chrysler.
Gatchett throws up a 38-footer, and it went through! Unbelievable!
But the Spartans fought back with a 14-2 run to take the lead. It went back and forth the rest of the half, and the Spartans led 32-28 at the break. The Wolverines chipped away at the lead and took a 48-47 lead on a Jenny Ryan 3-point play, and Michigan would never surrender the lead. MSU cut it to a single basket a couple of times, but senior Nia Jordan slammed the door shut with 43 seconds left, and Michigan made its free throws to beat MSU 70-69. The win ended Michigan's 12-game losing streak to the Spartans, dating back to 2008, and it sure got the monkey off the backs of these seniors.
It's only fitting that after 4 years for these seniors, it had to end in a dramatic fashion, and I'm just so proud of us and excited for what it means for us, for the program, and we just know from now on we can't relax and we have to keep going from here.
This is a huge win for us. I mean, Michigan State's a great team, and our rivalry goes back so far that getting this win was huge.
Ryan led Michigan with a career-high 24 points. Thompson added 20, and Nia Jordan scored 12 points for the Wolverines, who shot 55% in the second half.
You seniors were never going to let it happen. It was unbelievable. It was really unbelievable how each one of you made such a big play in the outcome of the game. Okay, and everybody else stepped up and did a tremendous job for us. But the way that you guys have come together and accepted everything that's gone on and just taken off really is a credit to what this team stands for. And I know all the younger kids, I always talk about the seniors, but I know we can't do it with the younger kids. And I know that their experience through all this will help us in the future. But you guys are so deserving of what you've been able to do and how you stuck together. I'm really proud.
The Wolverines are hoping for a repeat performance from the fans as well on Thursday night when they host Nebraska at Chrysler Center. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you in part by the University of Michigan Health System. Visit us at uofmhealth.org. And by Absol Pure Water, Michigan's favorite spring water and official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. Go to absolpure.com.
NCAA champion.
The 25th induction ceremony for the Michigan Hall of Honor was held Saturday as football Heisman Trophy finalist Rob Lytle, three-time All-American and Hobie Baker winner Brendan Morrison, and Gustavo Borges, a 10-time NCAA champion and 4-time Olympian, were recognized as Michigan all-time greats. Really is amazing how many great athletes that have come through this university. That'll do it for this week's edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. Thanks for joining us. We invite you back next week. We'll recap Michigan against Illinois as the Wolverines go for the season series sweep, and the Michigan women take on Nebraska. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and go Blue.